What is up, ladies and gentlemen? How are you doing this evening? It's your host, the Saint. Welcome again to the Wrestling Wire. So, last night, man, NXT had Deadline. What a badass show that was. The ladies absolutely tore the house down. Uh, I remember I was, texting some of the people here in the channel. I was like, man, look, that opening sequence, between Roxanne Perez and Zoe, dude, it was great. Like those two ladies worked so well together. It was fantastic to watch. At any rate, you know how we do. We talk about everything. So we're gonna catch up on the Ring of Honor show that occurred yesterday. We're gonna catch up on NXT Deadline. We're gonna talk about all the mess that happened throughout the whole week. And, we're just kind of going to bounce back and forth. Anybody in the crowd got something to say? We can always bring it up, put it up, and chop it up. So, man, looking at Monday Night Raw from, Monday. Here we are. Tomorrow's Monday, and we're all the way back, 6 days now. So, looking at this, Kevin Owens comes out to reveal himself as Riddle's backup partner. Okay, we kind of figured that was coming, but the Usos defeated Riddle and Owens to retain the championships. Then all of a sudden, Riddle gets carted out. Like, okay, I'm trying to understand the point of what they're going to do with Riddle with all this, but it is what it is. Becky Lynch and Becky Lynch and Bayley rather end up going back and forth arguing with each other. Bayley ends up defeating Asuka and Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match, so that puts her, in the matchup that's coming later. Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley end up in a brawl. Austin Theory comes out, defeats Mustafa Ali by DQ to retain his U.S. title. So I like what they're doing with Theory. His new shtick is working really well for me. The attitude, his aggression. It's like they took the Playboy selfie and shoved it into I'm a prick and I'm just going to hurt you. And it works better for this guy. I think the character and attitude fits him way better than the previous one. The OC defeated the Alpha Academy and Baron Corbin. Wasn't a bad matchup, but at the same time, y'all, we got to look at things like how they're going to develop and what they're going to do with these guys. You've got the tag team kind of locked up right now. So what they're doing is they're doing a lot of faction warfare because the Usos are the only ones holding tag team gold on the main roster. So with them not having but, so many viable tag teams, you got to have something for the rest of these guys to do. So they're starting to invoke that faction on faction fighting more. They've been doing that the last couple of months, and it's slowly growing. It's getting a little bit bigger every time you turn around. Whether or not it's going to remain that way, I could care less. I would prefer it more to go back to tag teams and tag team wrestling, but good tag team wrestling. So when I say good tag team wrestling, let's take a step back to the past, right? I'm talking about like the Hart Foundation, the Steiner Brothers, the Dudley Boys, Edge and Christian, the Hardys, stuff like that. That was good tag team wrestling back then. What we're seeing today, the high spots, the hot spots, and all this, miss me. I'm not into all this. But what the Usos are doing as a tag team is pretty legit. I'm not going to say the same goes for every tag team out there, but I'm digging what the Usos are predominantly delivering. They've been on top of the game for a while, and you know what? They deserved it. Ended up with Dominic Mysterio defeating Akira Tozawa. I have no idea what they're doing with Tozawa or Dom at this point. Yeah, we know Akira Tozawa is a good worker. Like, he's a great wrestler, but he's not really that entertaining. Is it because there's a language gap? Possibly. Is it because of other things? Yeah, maybe. But just overall, the guy doesn't do that much for me. Dominic is very black hole for charisma in my book, and that's a terrible thing for him because the guy's young and he's got a lot of growing to do. So let's hope that they can do something with him over the next couple of years that'll garner more interest. Do I see him as a future world champion? No, I don't. Maybe a mid card title, possibly, but I see him being around a bit. Bliss defeated Becky Lynch and Nikki Cross in a triple threat match. I am all kinds of down with that. I'm a huge Alexa Bliss fan. Um, so Bliss is going to end up going against Bailey next week for a number one contender spot. Is this the direction that they're going? Is that, Bliss is going to keep teasing this turn and then she's going to turn and then take the belt from Bianca? I'm okay with it. I figured they were done with changing her character so much. But either way, that was Monday Night Raw. Wasn't a bad show, but it wasn't. They weren't going too crazy on it, and I'll explain why. They're in a lull until the next pay per view. So you've got a little over a month and a half, almost 2 months now before we get to the next pay per view. Now's when, so they're going to start planting the little seeds to build the whole show up. So it's kind of like that seems to be the character arc and the storyline arcs that we follow through. It's a wave. So you're getting build, pay per view, build, pay per view, and it's a revolving circle. It's been working great. We ended up going to AEW's Dynamite next. They had the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal. And let's see here. Looks to be Ricky Starks won that one. Let's see here. King of Television Samoa Joe defeated Darby. Let's see here. Oh, look, I'm not even watching AEW. I'm talking about AEW and I'm yawning. My bad, y'all. Let's see here. Ring of Honor Pure Champion Daniel Garcia and Jake Hager versus Claudio and Wheeler Yuta from the Blackpool Combat Club. Here we go with this. They got this done. Claudio ended up hitting Hager with a uppercut, pinning him, got the win. Then they did the video package with Regal. It makes sense. But at the same time, it's like, y'all could just let it go. We didn't need no big explanation. We had all this extra. We already had what we needed with him being knocked out by MJF. The extra explanation didn't do anything to further the story here. That's kind of, my loss on this. Ended up with a trios match. Jade Cargill and the Baddies versus Kiera Hogan, Madison Rayne, and Sky Blue. Cargill and the Baddies won that. Main event time, The Acclaimed versus FTR. That was a pretty damn good tag team match. I liked it. It was a hell of a way to win that with an actual wrestling roll up, as opposed to some. That makes more sense. It really does makes way more sense for a tag team like the Acclaimed to get a proper wrestling roll up victory. Squeak one by the arguably the greatest tag team operating today. I really feel like FTR and the Usos. It's going to go back and forth before who's doing better. It really could be one way or the other to me. And that was the end of Dynamite. Wasn't a bad show, but I'm, not the biggest fan, so it's kind of hard for me to give you all the mainstays on that one. SmackDown. Friday Night SmackDown, the Usos defeated Sheamus and Butch to retain, so these cats done defended their titles twice this week. So they defeated Fight Night or Fight Club or whatever. Yeah, Fight Night, I guess it is. LA Knight gets chucked backstage and this crazy ass video comes up from Uncle Howdy. Hit Row sparked a three-way brawl with the Viking Raiders and Legado del Fantasma. The New Day end up coming out and backing up Ricochet on that contract signing. Then they end up going up against Ricochet with the New Day versus Imperium, and they defeated Imperium, which Really solid matchup. Yet again, not the biggest fan of all those 6-man shit going on, but that was pretty decent. It's hard for me to get into it because I guess there's so many moving pieces parts. It's too convoluted for me. Liv Morgan and Tegan Knox defeated Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Not often can you have your primary title holder lose on TV and it be okay. This is how you get that done, and it makes sense. Liv and Tegan go way back. So, yeah, well, I'm still yawning. Why the hell am I yawning? Liv and Tegan go way back, but then again, so does Ronda and Shayna, because Ronda and Shayna were together doing MMA shit, a long time ago. Either way, wasn't a bad matchup. After that, Kurt Angle's birthday thing, Alpha Academy comes out. I still haven't figured out the deal with Gable Stevenson and why he's out there spraying milk with Kurt Angle, but okay, sure. Whatever. If that's it's I guess because it's not organic anymore. Like it used to feel organic, now it just felt like a throwback to back in the day. It was weird. Rampage also happened Friday. Mox versus Takashita. Moxley handled his own and ended up choking out Takashita. Hangman Adam Page comes out to the ring after the match. And it looks like Moxley just decked him. And that ended up being it. Then we ended up having Sheeta versus the Bunny, which is there's some other company's title belt being defended in this. Sheeta ended up knocking Bunny with the Michinoku driver and pinned. And that was the end of that matchup. The Firm, Lee Moriarty, and Big Bill Morrissey. What's the deal with changing his name from W. Morrissey or William Morrissey now to Big Bill? Okay. Ended up them two going up against Izzy James and Clayton Bloodstone. So Ray Charles could have seen how that one was going to go. Big Bill and Lee Moriarty won that one. Orange Cassidy with the Best Friends versus Kip Sabian's Choice, which turned out to be Trent Seven. We know Trent Seven from NXT UK. I'm a huge Trent Seven fan, and man, did he look good in there versus Orange. It was great to see Trent on TV again. So I doubt you're going to see the dude get a full-time deal, but hell of a trainer, hell of a worker. Just he's a solid talent. I wouldn't mind seeing more of him on TV. Of course, Orange retained. Kip Sabian jumped in and started pummeling Orange. Dustin Rhodes come out and tore his ass apart. So now it looks like I can't tell whether we're going to get Dustin Rhodes versus Orange Cassidy or if we're going to get Dustin Rhodes versus Trent Seven. Or, it's hard to tell which way that's going to go. It really is. It could go multiple ways. But we're already done all 4 of the television shows I watched this week. I was unable to catch up on Impact. Been a busy week. And, now we're going to talk about Ring of Honor's Final Battle. I caught some of this. It's the holiday season, guys, so I know a lot of people are busy and a lot of people are doing things. And there's a lot of different things going on out there. So it's kind of hard to keep everything running and keep everything moving. So for now, we're just going to keep going with what we got going on. Well, let's see. On 0 Hour, you had Jeff Cobb defeated Dorada. Angelo Parker and Matt Menard defeated Cheeseburger and Isom. Willow Nightingale defeated Adora. Top Flight defeated the Kingdom. Now, final battle itself was AR Fox and Blake Christian defeated Dralistico and Rush. Or is that Roosh? That's Roosh. My bad. ROH Women's Championship match. Athena defeated Mercedes Martinez to become the fourth Women's World Champion. Swerve in Our Glory defeated Shane Taylor Promotions, which was JD Griffey and Shane Taylor. Ring of Honor World Six-Man Championships was the Embassy, defeated Dalton Castle and the Boys to become the 14th World Six-Man Champions. So they actually count how many times somebody's won the belt? Okay, that's cool. I actually do find that kind of neat. Wheeler Yuta defeated Daniel Garcia to become the 12th Pure Champion and the first ever two-time Pure Champion for Ring of Honor. In a Tag Team Championship dog collar match, you had Mark and Jay Briscoe defeat FTR to become the 64th World Tag Team Champions and earn their 13th World Title Championship. Those are some insane numbers. World Television Champion Samoa Joe defeated Juice Robertson. Ray Charles could have seen that, right? Thanks. Ring of Honor World Championship match. Claudio Castagnoli defeated Chris Jericho to become the 38th Ring of Honor World Champion and earn his second Ring of Honor World title. So that was it, man. Final Battle really wasn't bad. Like I say, I caught bits and pieces of it. Didn't get to watch the whole thing. I had some holiday stuff going on with some people in town. But that's all covered, and that's why we're here today. NXT's Deadline. This thing was badass. Roxanne Perez defeated Cora Jade, Indy Hartwell, Kiana James, and Zoe Starks on the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge match. The match was intricate. It was different. It was cool. It had, it had its dull moments. Like, I guess the cool thing about this is, unlike War Games, you can actually score points in this before everybody gets into the ring. So then the guys that get in the ring last, they got a hard time catching up. That's kind of one way to look at it. The other thought is, the later on in the match they come in, the more gassed everybody else is and the fresher they are. So they could essentially run circles around everybody else who's already been out there working 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. They got more time. The penalty box thing, every 90 seconds. Okay, I get it. Still wasn't bad. Still was not bad at all. Isla Dawn defeating Alba Fire. This surprised the hell out of me. These two ladies tore it up. I loved watching them. I am a big Isla Dawn fan. I liked her when I watched her in NXT UK. I thought she was very impressive, and she's vile. So she's so violent, and everything looked really good in that matchup. I was really happy with the way that one came out. The New Day defeating Pretty Deadly. I'd have lost my house on this match. I never, ever, ever would have predicted the New Day to win the NXT tag titles. I guess they're hanging out down in Orlando now. Maybe they're hanging out with Big E. I don't know. That's the only thing that comes to mind. It's the only thing that makes any sense right now. Is that they're all hanging out in Orlando, taking some time off the running the roads. I don't know. Maybe they're going to show up to Raw and SmackDown with the NXT tag titles, which would be odd. But what are they going to do? Face the New Day and lose those to the New Day as well, or to the Usos and lose those to the Usos as well? Like, is that what we're going for here? You got to make it make sense to me. If that's what they're going to do, I don't know how they would make it make any sense. But at least I feel like they had a good matchup. It was very entertaining. I thought the spot with the throwing the belt back and forth and acting like everybody got hit with a belt was funny as hell because everybody was laid out, the belt's on the ground, and nobody could really tell what's what. So I just felt like it made a good amount of sense. It was a funny spot, and people enjoyed it. Grayson Waller defeated Axiom, Carmelo Hayes, JD McDonough, and Joe Gacy in the men's Iron Survivor Challenge match. Yet again, this match had a whole lot more energy and like crazy spots to it than the other one, than the females match. But there was a lot to this to where, man, the numbers got higher, like the score got way higher. The final was like three for Waller, two for Axiom, two for Hayes, and two for Joe Gacy. I don't think JD McDonough got anything in this. He got skunked, which is weird because I really thought that JD McDonough was going to be. I wasn't predicting him to be the one to win it, but I was predicting him to be right there close. I figured they may have actually gone with Joe Gacy. But who knows? I guess they're going to go with Nathan Waller now. I can't see Nathan Waller beating Braun Breaker either. So I just have a hard time seeing anybody beat Braun Breaker in a standard wrestling match that's in NXT currently. Gimmick match, okay, yeah, I'll give you that. Extreme Rules or ladder match or weapons match or Hell in a Cell or Steel Cage. Yeah, you get some goofy shit in there. I can see that happening, but a regular one-on-one, nah, miss me with that. Not in NXT. I don't see it. There's nobody that I have got that much confidence in on that roster to beat the guy right now. I don't see anybody being that spark. I don't think anybody's going to beat him for a while. I think he's going to hold that belt for a good bit because Braun Breaker ended up defeating Apollo Crews. That was a really good matchup. Two big dudes, and did everything look great? Nah, not everything looked great, but the kick-ass thing here was how much stuff they were able to pull off and do while still getting everything else in place. So, two big guys, similar size, similar weights, similar strengths. I think that Breaker's a bit taller than Cruz. However, I think Cruz is actually more cut and buffed up. But I think they're pretty much the same guys, same size guys here. So either way, fun matchup, fun show overall from front to back. And here we are, 22 minutes in, and the entire recap portion of the show is done. Man, look at that. That's called a layup right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we do this. Um, so just checking things out, man. I hope you guys are, keeping up with everything. I hope everybody's having good holidays. We just had Thanksgiving. We're coming up on Christmas. Lots of stuff to get into. With that, I'm going to be working a number of indie shows coming up for the remainder of the year. Looks like I got 3 left on the docket for the year. So I'm not going to finish up with 11 companies worked for. I'm going to finish up with 12 companies worked for this year. 12 companies, 3 states in the indie scene. So that's not too bad for realistically my second full year in. COVID doesn't, are we counting COVID as a year in? We don't need to count COVID as a year in. Because COVID was a waste. Like, COVID was buy your license, get shut down 2 months ago, or 2 months later, and don't do anything else for the remainder of the year. Screw COVID year. But there's been a lot of stuff going on out there. I am hopeful that the remainder of the year for all these televised wrestling shows, I hope they all do something impressive. I hope more people get involved and do things because I really want to see these companies flourish. You never want to see anybody fail on TV. The stuff that they're talking about with Ring of Honor, that's all well and good. I would really rather see it be on television. Same with NWA. If you would put all this stuff on TV and we had available television to watch daily for wrestling content, that'd be awesome. Look at other sports, right? You can watch football most days of the week. Maybe not football. Baseball you can watch most days of the week. Same with hockey or basketball. Football, you got Sunday, Monday, Thursday. That's it, for the NFL. All well and good. Sunday, Monday, Thursday, 3 days a week. Who cares? Basketball and hockey and stuff, you got that on almost every night of the week. Same with baseball when it's around. Racing, you got weekends or 1 day a week or whatever. Nobody cares anyway. We're almost in that same spot with wrestling, except it's not just different people competing. It's different companies altogether. So it's like different brands. So I think that's one of the variables that would help out because you would be having a television option for every product that's out there that people would want to see. Make sense? Ring of Honor itself, like I say, under the Gabe Sapolsky era, was fantastic. So you had a bunch of stuff you could watch and a bunch of stuff you could enjoy. TNA right now is like um, the ECW, right? It reminds me of ECW back in the day. AEW definitely reminds me of WCW, but I actually don't think it's as good as mid to late '90s WCW. Personal opinion. Um, it looks more like the WCW from I don't know Vince Russo era, maybe just very convoluted and a bunch of shit running around that don't make no sense. That is what I seem to get when I watch current AEW product. WWE still WWE, man, looks the same. And that's fine. At least it's doing something. So either way, folks, I'm looking for more to talk about. What do we got going on out there? Did anybody else watch any of these shows? Because that's where things matter. You know, you gotta have eyes on the product. Damn. Well, folks, today looks like we're gonna have us a short episode, and I've got some other stuff going on. Oh, what did I think about the hockey matches at NXT? Hang on, we'll fix that. Let's fix that real quick. You're talking about the penalty box, basically. Is that what you mean? The penalty box, the 90-second penalty box? Well, I mean, hockey penalties are 2-minute minors, 5-minute majors, or game banning. You know, those are the different variables there. It wasn't terrible. Like I said, the match was fun. There was a lot of different things you could do to it. Um, Scott, I sent you an invite. If you want to jump on in, man. Uh, but NXT itself was pretty entertaining. The way they laid it out, no matter whether you got pinned, submit, disqualified, any of those things, you had to take a penalty of 90 seconds where you couldn't score a fall to help your score go up to win. So I mean, it's not the worst thing that I've ever seen. The way it was kind of like a King of the Mountain without the ladder, or whatever the hell that was called with TNA. It was like a weird mix of TNA eliminating matchup with a gauntlet. It was weird, but it was fun. It was a combination of a bunch of matches all kind of screwed together into one thing. Overall, it wasn't bad at all. I'll be honest with you, it could have gone 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes would have been cool. And then the sudden death rule that they mentioned that just in case somebody messed up on time is going to be my guess. Um, but either way, I thought it was a good time. I thought it was a pretty entertaining matchup, decent concept. And those are your new number one contenders right now. You've got Roxanne Perez as the number one contender for the women's belt, and you've got Grayson Waller as the number one contender for the men's belt. North American Championship was not defended on that show. So there's that to keep in mind. Oh, we're going to be joined by our buddy from Hashtag Truth. What's up, Scott?
What's going on, man? The only thing that I thought that they could have done to make that match better, both matches were great. I thought the rules and everything were awesome. I just think that all 5 competitors should have started off at the beginning and done the whole 25 minutes. because the last guy comes in with only 10 minutes left on the clock. And even though he's the freshest guy, he still only got 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I even just brought it up. They could add 5 minutes to that and make it a full half-hour thing.
Right. I agree. That's
another
good idea too.
I like a good old-fashioned Iron Man match. I think that those are fun.
Right.
But I haven't seen a good Iron Man match in forever.
Not a one-on-one, no.
No.
The last one I remember was Shawn Michaels and Bret, the Hitman Hart, I believe, the last one I saw.
No, there's been more since then. I think Cena was in one.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. Hold on. How about look? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this to ourselves? We have smartphones and stuff,
right?
And here we are. Here we are being silly, not looking at this.
But overall, the only match I really didn't like, and of course it was two big guys, and they're not going to be real athletic. But the main event,
really?
I thought it could have went longer.
I don't know, dude.
I think it could have went longer because I did not expect it to end that quickly with the spear. I really didn't.
Okay.
But overall, it was. I enjoyed watching it. It was a good pay-per-view.
All right, so the last Iron Man match was Finn Balor, Adam Cole, Tommaso Ciampa, and Johnny Gargano. That was a fatal 4-way Iron Man match, 1 hour long.
Oh, wow.
And then they went to Cole and Balor were tied, so they had a match on the following Tuesday on NXT Super Tuesday 2. That happened.
An hour long match. Wow.
Now
I don't remember it, but wow.
Yep. Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins had a 30-minute one.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler had a 30-minute one for the IC title. The Bar had the Hardy Boys in a 30-minute one. Charlotte and Sasha had a 30-minute one. KO and AJ had a 30-minute one. Cena and Rollins had one.
Wow.
Bayley and Sasha had one. Oh, here we go. Cena defeated Orton.
Okay.
6-5 in an Anything Goes Iron Man match in 2009.
Yeah. You go back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Triple H, when he was running NXT, brought the Iron Man back to NXT when he was running it down there.
There used to be a good amount of them, but see, you don't get them anymore. You got to look at it. Who do you think's got the gas tank to go an hour in today's wrestling climate?
There's a lot of these kids that are, you see those matches like the I call them the hockey matches. I can't remember what they're called, but the men's match, all 5 of those guys, well, 4 out of the 5 were like small. They could have probably went an hour easy. The big
Joe
guy
Gacy
in the match, and I'm horrible with names, but the big guy in the match, I don't think he could have went an hour. He probably would have been blown up about 30 minutes into it. But
Joe Gacy, I every time I watch him, I'm more impressed by him. Mm-hmm. Whether or not you like the gimmick of schism or whatever, and the whole thing, whether or not you like that is suspect. The fact is, the dude, he reminds me of a younger and smaller Bray Wyatt, the way he moves. His moves look very impactful. It doesn't look like he's pussyfooting around or pulling punches. He looks like he's stiff. So I like that about it.
Who's the guy in the mask? The first guy that came out?
Axiom.
Man, I'm telling you. That kid is all springboard, man. He is all.
It's kind of lame to me.
He took most of the falls, which made it legit to me. He took most of the falls. When they hit him good, he was down, and boom, 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 they got the 3 count.
Yeah. It wasn't a bad show overall. The Ring of Honor show,
I especially liked the ending. I liked the way the show ended
with Grayson Waller running around.
With Grayson Waller coming in and actually giving him a good hit or whatever.
Here's what irritates me with that. Everybody's chasing him like you got to pin him. No, dude, y'all could have pinned anybody else in the damn thing except for the guy he pinned.
But at the end of the total show, when Braun won his match, he come out and hit Braun and was holding the title over him to end the show. I love those kind of endings, man.
Yeah, well, you know where it's going next is it's going to be that. Like I said, I don't see Grayson Waller being able to defeat Braun Breaker. He's half the size of Breaker.
No.
It's the legitimacy there kills me.
Right. Who's going to be the one? I think when he gets beat, he's going to go to the main roster. I think there's no doubt about that. But who's going to be the one to take him? Who's going to be the one to take him out? Is somebody going to drop down to NXT like the New Day did?
That's the only thing I can think of is somebody's going to have to drop down to do that. But does that help your NXT roster by bringing in somebody from above them to beat them? You know what I'm saying?
Not really.
It doesn't say that they're competent. It doesn't say that they're on that level of competition, which I hate Pretty Deadly anyway, so I could care less. Pretty Deadly is that annoying.
Can they do that tap on the shoulder and raise their hand thing? I was like, oh my God, 6 times? All right, guys, we get it. You're the champs. Move on.
I can't stand the gimmick. I don't like the gimmick at all. I don't like heels like that, period.
Okay.
It annoys me. I don't like the Miz style of heel. That's what that's called. That's the Miz heel.
Oh, okay.
Whiny bitch heel. I don't like those.
Oh no. I like the Miz though. The Miz is funny to me. He's funny to me.
He is funny, but I don't like that style of heel.
I got you.
The shit they're doing with Austin Theory to me is great. That type of mean bastard heel. That's a heel to me. There we go. I like I'll put it in indie terms for you. A Chase Emery douchebag dickhead heel who will actually tie you up like a pretzel. Right. Or the Caleb kid, whatever, the little weasel shit that he is.
Crocker?
Yeah, sure, that guy. I can't remember. I've seen him one time, and I was like, okay.
Big Country's going to take care of him on the 30th. So,
Big Country's going to unzip his pants and smack him with a testy and knock him out. He's going to render him unconscious with a testicle. That's going to be it.
Whatever happens, I can't wait to see it.
Oh my God, I won't be there. Yeah. I will not be there. I don't know when that show is, but I can already tell you. Wait a minute. It's
going to be on Friday night, the 30th. So that's the first Friday show they've ran since they've been in their new location.
They're in a new location?
Well, I'm talking about since they went from EWF to this location and changed to HWA. I think this is their first Friday night show ever.
Yeah, see,
every show Friday is on Saturday except for this one.
This Friday, I'm in Charlotte. This Sunday, I'm in Charlotte. And then the 30th, I'm somewhere here in South Carolina. I got to remember. It's on the flyer.
You're always working, man. That's the good thing about you, man. You're always working.
I did take off this weekend, and I took off the weekend for Christmas. And that's enough.
Right.
That's enough.
Without a doubt, man.
January's going to be busy.
Yeah, I'm working hard on my show too, trying to get some things going. I finally got somebody I've been wanting for a long time. I finally got the ECW original that I've been looking for a long time, man. I can't wait to get him on the show. I hope I hope he just comes on and is himself, because that would be perfect.
Yeah, you're talking about Chris Hamrick. That's going to be a good one.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to hearing what Thomas Scott has to say.
Thomas Scott's going to have a good show coming up. From what he's telling me, it's going to be a really good show.
Oh, I know it's going to be a really good show.
Well, you're going to be calling the show, aren't you? You're going to be
I'm the announcer, yeah.
Announcer?
Yep.
Yeah, so
got the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship going to be defended at an indie show.
Right? That's going to be awesome. That's going to be tape worthy right there.
It is. Valo's going to be there. Django's going to be there. Christopher Prince is challenging for the NWA Junior Heavyweight title. There was a couple people going to be there. Dude, there's a show coming up, Brino versus the Barbarian. That's going to be different. That's going to be
Brino better strap up. Brino better strap up because Barbarian's really stiff. He's going to take some shots in that. It's going to be a good match, but Barbarian don't hold nothing back.
What?
Barbarian don't hold nothing back. When he hits you, you know you've been hit.
I've seen Barbarian in person. I met him at the very first show I ever worked in the Indies.
I've seen him twice when he came to EWF twice while the company was in.
You've done lagged out and faded out and dropped off, man.
Did I?
Yeah. Oh, there you are. I can hear you again.
Well, what the heck's going on? Here, let me do this. Maybe.
Oh, there you go. You're good. You're good there.
I just had to take off my Facebook. I had my Facebook running next to on top of my screen. So once I clicked off of it, my internet's really funny here because of course, we got, all 4 family members in our house run like, 3-4 different things. So you're lucky if you even have internet.
Not only that, but the other trick with that, dude, would be your processor on your computer. Facebook's not exactly a light footprint. So, I mean, that makes a big difference as well.
Right.
But either way, I think that with what they're doing on this essentially running the new shows, all these new shows coming up on TV, everybody's building to that next pay-per-view right now. And it's a good spot to be in because, you're at the end of the year. Everybody knows this is like the holding pattern. So it's kind of like, all right, you're going to get some ticket sales because people are getting ready to buy them for Christmas. You're going to be doing other stuff right after that, and then you got big pay-per-views.
And all the rumors are going to be flying about who's going to be in the Rumble. That's already started.
Sasha Banks is the current rumor for Sasha is that she's done.
Yeah. Well, the big rumor is The Rock is going to come out 30th and win the Rumble so he can face Roman at WrestleMania. That's the big rumor now. Whether it's going to come true or not, we'll have to see. But that's the big rumor.
Why?
That's the first one.
Why?
Are you kidding me? That's the bloodline thing. It falls perfectly into the bloodline. I mean, even if he loses, even if The Rock loses, which he probably will,
he don't need to win the Rumble though. Like
you know WWE, they're not going to push some young talent. They're not.
No, it's not a young talent. They don't need to push a young talent. They need to push.
Who's going to win the Rumble? Who out there?
Cody Rhodes.
Win the Rumble?
Cody Rhodes wins the Royal Rumble.
I can see that. Okay. Cody Rhodes going up against. Okay.
Cody Rhodes wins the Rumble and wins the title. That's the way it goes.
Oh, you're calling both shots.
Then he takes both belts. If they don't do the thing where Roman's defending one on one night and one on night 2, he takes both belts, throws them in the trash can, and brings out the Winged Eagle belt, and it's one title.
Unified?
Yep, one title. It'll be a new version of the Winged Eagle belt.
So do you think they'll do the same thing with the tag titles? Do you think they'll unify those two? I mean, they've been together for so long that
I wish they would, because that would make so you don't have to have your main title defended on every show. Right? You agree?
Right. I agree.
You can do vignettes and you can do backstage shit and you can make it look like the champ is there when the champ ain't there. We don't need it on every show.
Right.
That would bring the Intercontinental title to the main event of each individual, like Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. And same with the U.S. title. Then the tag champs show up, or, tag team wrestling. There's not as many good tag teams in WWE. So in this way, it makes it look like, okay, now it's more important and special when this occurs.
Right.
So that's kind of where I think it's going. The women's titles being defended all the time is fine. I'm good with that because they're, they deserve that spot.
Right.
The main title is already the main thing.
Right.
It's already the most important thing.
Well, I mean, the women's tag team title is over. I mean, everybody, is enjoying watching the tag team division. Some of these tag teams they're putting together, women's tag teams that they're putting together. They're pushing a lot of women in NXT. I don't know if you've noticed that or not, but there's a lot of women being pushed. I think that tag team division in the next year or two is going to be really huge in WWE when they get, because they're going to throw at least 6 of them women together and make 3 good tag teams out of them.
Let's hope. I mean,
I
I'm
hope.
hopeful. I'm hopeful that they do something decent with it because it's getting to the point where they've got to do more to build the future. And at this point, you can only build the future with so much.
Right.
You can only have these same people keep running around for so long before it becomes stale.
Right.
AEW pushing MJF to the top. Okay, I get it. It makes sense. The only thing that logically makes sense for him to lose, in my opinion, is to Eddie Kingston. It makes no other victor makes any sense to me other than Eddie Kingston.
Right.
And I am A-okay with that because I still got a year on my bet. So.
Well, I keep forgetting his name, but the champ that he's going to take that off of, or he took it off of, he's gonna be back. He's not going to go away.
Moxley?
Yeah, Moxley.
I don't think you're going to see Moxley in the main title picture for a while because Moxley was due for a vacation when he won the damn thing again, or for the third time.
Right.
And then is Punk coming back? There's a whole nother ball game.
No. I don't know if Punk's going to come back, but even if he does, he's not going to get the same fanfare he had before. It's not going to be nowhere close. The only place that guy's going to get cheered is Chicago, and that's pretty much going to be it.
I don't know.
I mean, I was one of those guys that were through the roof when I heard Punk was coming back, man. I was, all about Punk. And then it just seemed like he is poison in a locker room, in my opinion.
Well, I've never been in a locker room with him, so I can't say that.
I mean, that's all you ever hear about is this guy's arguing with him. This guy's got into an altercation with him. This guy's got into a punching match with him. This guy's, you're supposed to be the best in the world. You're coming in. Show these guys how to be in a locker room. I don't want to hear stories coming out all the time on, that you're, and then you get into a press conference and
he wrecked him in that press conference, man.
But he didn't need to. He was so over. It didn't matter, win or lose, whatever that match. He was so over. He didn't need to do what he did. Tony Khan was sitting there during that. Go back and watch that press conference and watch Tony Khan's face. He has no clue what to do.
I know he had no clue. Well, I mean, that's a result of doing a line of coke before you start the press conference. That's what that is.
I can't argue.
He had a little Colombian Bam Bam before he went out there, and
I can't argue with that one bit.
I swear to God. I saw this meme come across my phone. I think it was either yesterday or today, and it was a snowplow that had Tony Montana's face on it. And then as it was plowing snow, you just saw the white stuff flying across him. And I'm like, no, we need to swap Tony Montana for Tony Khan. And that looks the exact same. There we go.
Right.
Bunch of white stuff crossing in front of his face, right at his nose level. Like, there we go.
Have the Merry Christmas promo with the stuff coming down, but it ain't snow.
That ain't snow. That's blow. It ain't snow, it's blow.
There you go.
Oh my God. The dude is just weird. I haven't figured it out yet. I can't figure it out. And that's half the problem I got with it is I can't figure it out.
One of the things that everybody keeps screaming about is that, when Vince was running it and Triple H running, again, comparing him to WWE, but it's true. It seems like he doesn't trust anybody to help run anything. He doesn't really trust anybody to give the reins to. You know what I mean? Like he did Pritchard and all these, the few other guys, that he trusted. Tony Khan acts like he doesn't have that guy, but he does. He just don't want to, put the trust in him.
I think Tony Khan just messed up by letting Regal go. And I get it. I get
why and to drop him the way he did with MJF,
he just didn't pick up his contract.
I know, but did you see the way he went out with MJF dogging him?
That was how they had to do it. So here's the thing. Regal had already opted to not, or had already asked Tony not to pick up the option on his contract.
Right.
Khan was dealing with his mother having strokes and shit and being in the hospital and everything else. He was dealing with that. And he was dealing with, the company and all this other shit going on. So Khan just basically said, yeah, you know what? You want to go? Go. Fine. No problem. It's not going to kill him.
Right.
He could use Jim Ross for a lot more than he uses Jim Ross for.
I think they could take Jim Ross totally off of the announcer panel and use him in the back.
They could.
I mean, why do they need? That's one thing that drives me nuts about watching AEW. I watch it without the sound because I can't stand listening to 4 announcers. And then, during the show, you got 4 announcers going. And a lot of times 2 of them are arguing to get the mic time. And then you turn around and you got somebody walking out with a wrestler. And then they end up over at the commentary table. And then there's 5 people. And it's like, my ears can't handle this. I just mute it. I watched the show, but I mute it. I watched the wrestling.
Yeah. It's hard to get invested in the story when there's so many point counterpoint going on. I agree. It is. It does make it. That's what I'm saying about it being so convoluted.
Right.
I believe there's just too many ingredients in the pie, and it's not. It doesn't come out good.
Right. I'll say that too about NXT. They have a great commentary team. Booker T and the other guy. Oh my gosh, I love listening to those two. Those two are so enjoyable.
I'm not a big fan of Booker T on commentary, but he does all right. And then him getting emotional over Roxanne Perez winning, that was cool. I was down with that.
He was literally tearing up.
Yeah.
That was
because that was his girl at 16. He trained her when she was 16 years old. She won a title or whatever when she was 17 years old. She won a belt. Dude, she's what's up. And I mean, that's like, we've had conversations. Matty G and I were talking Thursday night about, the locals and awards and this and this. And I'm like, look, man, I said, that the points that him and I were bringing up also stemmed from him and I sitting together talking Saturday night while working for Union.
Right.
It's like, could I see XYZ a person on TV? Yeah. But do I see him on like every Monday night? Maybe not. Do I see him on every Friday night? Maybe not. But I do see them on TV.
Right.
I could see.
There's a few that I could see that, once they get up there, get their feet wet, and I could easily see Chase Emery once he gets up there and gets into that, bodybuilding, thing that they do at WWE to transform your body, to he's already got the body. I'm not saying he doesn't have the body, but they'll make it all tight. You know what I'm saying? Where he's got 6-pack abs and, no flab, he'll have 2% body fat, and you get him in there like that, and he could be somebody that wrestles all the time.
I see Mitch Robertson on TV.
Mitch Robertson's another one, same way.
I see Cam Jackson as being that guy too.
See, that's what I think is wrong with an award show, because I had a conversation about an award show too. I think we even talked about it for a while. It's hard to do an award show in the indies as much as I'd love to see it happen. And I even thought about doing one, and then I canceled it because everybody came at me with, why don't you do it this way? Why don't you do it that way? Why don't you do it this way? And I was like, oh, never mind. Well, because there's so many good wrestlers, especially in our area, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. There is more than just 5 nominees that you could put as Wrestler of the Year. I mean,
here's the trick with that. I wouldn't want to be involved on a level where I have to pick and choose names on
Right.
that as a because you and I talked about being involved in panelists or whatever, and I'm like, look, no, I'm not into that. Now, if you wanted to have all the podcasters come in and we each cover an award, okay, fine, fair enough.
Right.
That's fine. We'll cover the awards and do one show where we cover all the awards. That's fine, but it's got to be the people's choice. It's not about anything else.
And
It
it's
should just
very
be the
hard.
vote.
It's very hard to get a voting system down
You
where you
crapped
can
out
get
again.
people. Did I?
Yep, you completely crapped out that time. I mean, you didn't just crap out a little bit. You crapped out and went down the drain that time.
Am I still gone? What the heck is going on? I don't know.
I can't hear you, man. I don't know what's going on with that. Thomas Scott chimed in to say, "What's up, everyone?" Or did my internet shit the bed this time? Oh, oh, that was you. Okay, you hear him? Okay, all right.
I just took myself out and tried to reset everything. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good deal.
What's up, Thomas? How you doing? Yeah, I hear him now too.
Thomas Scott. We're gonna see him Monday night on #Truth. I hope you'll be around for that one. That'll be a good show.
Yeah, I'll be in the crowd.
I know you'll have a lot of good questions to ask.
No, I will actually try not to ask too many.
Oh.
So, all right, so here's the thing. I can only say so much without people being like, "Oh, well, what's this asshole know? Why does he know this stuff?" You know what I mean?
Right. I got you.
So you got to do that. You got to worry about that when it comes to, promoters that you work for.
Right. I got you.
I
forgot again. I forgot. It slipped my mind that you are going to be announcing there that for his show. So,
yep, I'll be announcing for him. Then I'll be announcing for Manny Mac at XWW.
So I get
Sunday.
to ask. So I get to ask him about how good or how bad his announcer is.
Oh yeah, his announcer is the drizzling shits. He's a real moody prick.
In a bow tie. Don't forget that part. In a bow tie.
Yeah, he's a real moody prick that wears a bow tie. He's got a plethora of issues. The talent hate him. He's just. Oh look! Here we go. He does a good job when he's asleep. There we go. Hey man, look. I explained it to my kids. If you can make money while you're in the bathroom and asleep, that's when you've made a difference.
That's when you know you're good.
That's right. If you can make money while you're in the bathroom and asleep, you have done your job.
You have no money problems at that point. I guarantee it.
There you go. Look.
He does a
great job. He's a prick in a bow tie. LOL. That's right. Well, hey, look, man. I had to figure it out the hard way that you can't be the nicest guy because you'll never get done. You can't get your job done if you're too nice in this.
Right.
It does not work.
But it's always fun watching you squirm a little bit.
I don't, man. I don't get it that often. I'll be honest with you. Every now and then, shit goes a little bit.
Excuse me.
Oh well, bless you there.
Thank you.
Shit. Every now and then, shit gets a little twisted, and you gotta push through a couple of things that aren't right. But other than that, I don't have any real issues anymore with any of the shit we do.
I got you right. I'm telling you, if I could get people to stop. Now it used to be me because me being sick. Now I'm starting to correct that, and now I got everybody canceling on me, and I don't know why. So last week I had 2 people cancel. Boom, boom. I was like, man.
He did a good job. I put him in the ring with 5 different legends at one time. That is accurate. That happened. It was Sam Houston, Ricky Morton, Bobby Fulton, Jackie Fulton, George South, Thomas Scott. I think Kerry Morton was still in there. So there was, and I was in there, and I was like,
Did
I
you
need to
get a
get the hell out of
picture?
this ring.
Did you get a picture?
No, I was like, I need to get the fuck out of this ring. I don't belong in here with all these guys.
Oh, come on, man. That's when you eat it up.
No,
You
that
got
was
the mic in your hand. You should have kicked right into podcaster gear, dude.
nope. I said, and now I'm turning the mic over to the legends, and handed the mic over, and I got my ass out the ring. Thomas Scott said, hell, I didn't belong in there with them. Yeah, but they told you to get in. I was in there already. That's the difference. The legends told him to get in the ring.
I got you.
So, Ricky and them were like, you bring your ass in here.
There you go. Hey.
Like you did this, you get in here.
You bring everybody together, that's you deserve it.
Man, that was the day after the gathering too. So I mean,
I just wouldn't want to pay those 5 or 6 people you were talking about. That's a lot of money in that ring right there.
Hey man, I got nothing to do with that side. I'm kind of happy where I'm at in this business. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, I do enjoy going after some new things, right. But as far as it goes, it's like, dude, I see what these promoters go through.
See, that's me. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm on the outside looking in most of the time, and I like that. I like doing the fan part of it. It's fun.
I like being a fan, but if I'm going to be a fan, I'm going out of town. I'm not going to go see the same thing I already,
right.
I support all these guys already.
Right.
I don't go sit down very often on the local shows. It's just, if I'm going, I'm out of here. Like, I need to go somewhere else. I want to go see other people and do something again.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to go see other people that I can bring back and say, hey, look, you need to talk to this guy, this girl, and this tag team. You want to talk to them because this is what's up.
Right.
Like that. I know that. Thomas Scott said, I want to be your fan again.
Yeah.
They said they did it for free for me.
Wow.
All 5 of them legends were there
in
that ring for him. And like I said, it was a kick-ass moment. There's video of it somewhere. I think it's on the XWW network, which we're, gladly a part of. As you can see with the logo here, we're a part of the XWW streaming service. Be sure you go check them out if you haven't. Check out that Facebook page. There are like 29,000 likes now and growing.
Nice. Very nice.
Oh man, the crazy thing about it is because you've got Pro Wrestling Savage show on Friday, right? You got that. Then the XWW show is on Sunday. The first 50 fans that show up to the XWW show, buy a ticket, get a Christmas ornament. It is a nice red ball Christmas ornament. It is glass. It is nice looking.
Just a regular Christmas ornament, nothing on it, just Christmas ornament. I mean, I'm not saying
it's XWW. It's XWW.
I'm just saying, is there anything special about it?
Yeah, XWW is on it.
Okay, it's XWW.
It's an XWW Christmas ornament. It is nice looking.
Got it. You just said red. That's what threw me off. I was like, why would I want to go and get a red Christmas ornament? I got 50 of those things in the other room.
Thomas, I've already talked about that like 3 times today, and this is my big league show because it's NWA.
Right.
NWA's on this on the bottom over there underneath the Scott. So yeah, I've talked about that.
Right. Well, we're gonna talk about it more after Kerry Morton loses his title.
Oh, Jesus God. Yeah, it's in Charlotte. Yes, sir. It's in Charlotte, North Carolina, Friday night. This coming Friday night. NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship. Christopher Prince challenges Kerry Morton for that. The future legend versus the current Prince.
We would never hear the end of it if Christopher Prince wins that title.
My God.
We would never.
Whoa, Daddy. Whoa,
Daddy.
Oh, my Christ. We would never hear the end of it.
I'd say that with love, Mr. Christopher.
Yeah. Good Lord. That would be.
Go ahead.
He'd be insufferable, but it would be hilarious. And I can't
think
of
a loss for words. Never at a loss for words.
I can't. I can tell you this. I can't tell you another guy on the indie scene in that size class caliber who I think could do it and pull it off more than him.
I could agree with that. Another 5 years, I'll have an argument with you, but right now, yeah, you're right.
3 to 5, I agree. 3 to 5, I agree. 3 to 5 years, we'll have a couple
have
more
plenty
names
to argue about then.
Yeah.
there's a lot of cruiserweights up and coming.
There's a lot of young and developing talent that's coming up. I mean, Buggy Wright, Brino Royce, Luke Fury, what's that kid you know?
Kid Cutter, come on now.
Yeah, no, dude. I said the kid you know. I didn't mean Kid Cutter, but yeah, Kid Cutter. That works.
Kid Cutter. What other kid?
I didn't mean kid as in kid. I meant kid as in smaller guy.
Oh. I know a lot of smaller guys that wrestle.
He had the mask on.
Oh, you're talking about
Armor Chain.
Oh gosh, he wrestles at 3 count.
Armor Chain,
Jacob Armor Chain.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh yes, he's almost. I would say he's almost to the Christopher Prince level. He's been wrestling for quite a while. He just hasn't gotten a big break from a company. I mean, I would put him up there. What I'd like to see is for somebody to have a cruiserweight division, man. Bring a cruiserweight division back. Well, there's enough kids out there to have a cruiserweight division. And light the place up.
You know that Pro Wrestling Union's introducing a junior heavyweight division,
right?
So there's that.
I mean, if that's what they're going to use that for, that's great.
Yeah, 210 and small, 210 pounds and smaller.
So it's basically a cruiserweight division. Yeah. So
yeah. Well, cruiserweight's 205.
Right. Well, 210. I might 5 pounds. I mean, really.
Yeah. And then, well, Thomas said Cam Jackson should fit in that class. Nah, Cam is good where he's at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cam's good where Cam's at. I think Cam is one of those. He should have been on TV within the last 3 years anyway.
Yeah. The promos he was cutting for Pro Wrestling Union, I was just falling over, man. I was just falling over. They were so good. He is genius when he grabs. He doesn't even have to. It doesn't even have to be like an impromptu, somebody telling him, "Hey, go cut this." He just at a drop of a hat, he goes into Cam Jackson mode, and it is awesome.
Definitely. He's one of them talented cats. I'll look forward to seeing everything I got coming up this weekend. Right. I look forward to seeing what I got for the rest of the year, and then next year's already shaping up to be pretty big. Yep, Thomas is right. Cole McAfee does have some great things going on. I think a lot of these shows down here right now, Thomas, are cooking with fire, man.
Right,
a lot of them are.
Now, did I see that correctly? The next show for Pro Wrestling Union is in March. I believe it's in March.
Give me a second.
I do believe it's in March. He's got 3 shows showing on. I want to say March 13th, but I'm probably wrong on the date.
March 11th.
11th. Okay.
April 29th and June 10th.
Yeah.
Those are the next 3 shows he's got.
Yeah, he's got all 3 of them promoted on his page.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, dude, we got to wait till March.
Yeah. Got to wait till March because they're getting everything set up. They've got the junior heavyweight tournament, is what I understand. I think he laid out some of the rules or the layout of that.
Okay.
You've got the undisputed title match. Currently, it's Bebop versus Chase. You've got that coming. The Heat Seekers just won the tag titles. Dude, were you – I'm going to ask you a serious question, and I really don't want to go too much into detail on it. I'm going to ask you a serious question. When you were kind of pissy yesterday about something online, did that have to do with a show that got canceled?
No.
Okay. Okay. I was like, holy crap.
I took it down. I was upset over a big misunderstanding at HWA. I'll be honest with everybody.
Okay, cool. Because I'll
tell everybody the story. I showed up at HWA, and normally I can walk. I showed up like 2.5 hours early because normally I can get in. I can talk to the wrestlers. I can, they allow me back. To go in and talk to all the wrestlers and that. Well, I get to the venue. Doors open 6:30. I get there like just before 5. And I'm like walking up to the door, and there's a guy standing at the door. He's like, you can't go in. What? I've been doing this. I've been going in early I couldn't since this company started. What are you talking about? He's like, you can't go in. I was told specifically, you can't come in. I was like, really? Okay. So I'm mad. I huff back all the way to the car. My wife's just getting out of the car. My daughter's just getting out of the car. I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm out of here. I'm going home. Screw it. I'm leaving. Next thing you know, one of the wrestlers comes running out. Scott, come here. I don't know what's going on, but I think they got a surprise for you. Don't take off. They got a surprise for you. And I was like, okay, whatever, dude. So we sat there till 6:30, me, my wife, my daughter out in the car. And I walk up, and there's the owner of the show, Joey Godfrey. And he calls me over and pulls me to the side. And he's like, we do have a surprise for you. That's why I wouldn't allow anybody to let you in. He goes, I'm sorry I didn't get a hold of you beforehand and tell you not to show up till doors open. That's my fault, but we have a surprise. We don't want you to come in. We want to see your facial expression when this wrestler hits the curtain. I was like, okay, cool, but you could have done that 2 hours ago, So that's why I did the I'm mad because I was sitting in the car waiting for an hour and a half for a show to start when I'm usually in there, interviewing wrestlers and
yeah,
scoop, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it comes all the way. The show starts and everything, and I got people coming up and sitting beside me, and one of them, Gene Perry, right? The referee.
Oh yeah.
He walks up to me and he goes, match 4 is the one you're looking for. I'm like, okay. So Caleb Crocker comes out first. The champion comes out first in match 4. And I'm like, wait, the champion's coming out first? He comes out and he cuts this promo, and I'm going back and forth with him and the rest of the crowd too. And and then all of a sudden the music hits, and I haven't seen this guy in forever. And he was one of my favorite wrestlers in this area. And he drives all the way from Columbia to come up here to be at HWA. And that's Tristan Williams. And I just, the excitement overflowed, man. I was jumping up and down. Him and his brother made a great tag team in EWF, and his brother is in the Army. He's over in Germany right now. That's why they're no longer a tag team. But he's in the Army too. He's a weekend warrior. His brother's full time. He's a weekend warrior. He had to stop wrestling for a while because the Army, made him go full time for a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but that was the big surprise, and I was happy and all was good after the show. But yeah, that's what I was mad about.
Because I was like,
and I'm not used to being treated like that.
Man. So I got to laughing at it. I got to laughing at it. I was like, oh God, here we go.
What I thought was funny was everybody was under there going, rant? Are you gonna rant? Are you gonna rant? No, dude. This has nothing to do. I should have put this had nothing to do with wrestling, but I didn't think about it at the time. But
well, because I was like, man, if this cat goes on here and opens up about this damn show that got canceled,
no.
I was like, oh Christ, this is gonna get nasty.
I heard about that. Of course, all the rumors get to me anyway, but I heard about that. But if it has nothing to do with me and there's nothing that's gonna, affect the everyday process of independent professional wrestling, then I'm whatever.
Look, I'll put it to you like this, man. I heard more than I needed to hear.
You probably heard a lot more than I did, but
I heard way more than I needed to hear, and I was just like, nah, we good.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of big names on that poster. I don't know why they canceled it. I wasn't told why they canceled it, but you'll have to tell me off the air, bro.
I'm like putting a pin in that for another point in time. I don't
you.
know all the details.
You know me. If I know, I'll be saying it out loud. I don't care.
Yeah, no.
I'll voice my opinion.
Voicing an opinion is one thing. I think that what happened was absolute garbage, it was horseshit and stupid. But the reality of it is, yeah, there was a lot of big names on there, and shit just went south, man. And shit happens. I get that.
The people I feel sorry for are the fans that saw that poster and was looking forward to it. And if any early tickets were bought or anything, man, that's
there's a lot of that. But I'll have to tell you off the air. But there's certain...
you're shaking, man. I can't wait till the show's over. Now.
No, I'm sitting here. I'm fiddling with something in my hands. That's called ADD and ADHD. That's.
I got you.
I'm sitting here fiddling with a damn wire adapter.
It's all good. I did my rant for the week. I'm good. I'm good this week.
Jesus Christ.
But we don't need people. Okay, we're going to talk about that for just a split second. My rant. We don't need people like that in independent professional wrestling. We really don't.
I agree. And I mean, I try not to get involved on shit I don't know nothing about. You know what I mean?
Right. So well, if it's a news story, then it's out and about for everybody.
Yeah. That's true. But yet again, I didn't even read the news story. I saw what you said.
Right.
Because I don't follow news. I don't get shit sent to me from,
well, you're not Mr. Independent professional wrestling where everything I do is independent, and you do more than that. So
yeah. The thing of it is, like, I don't know about shit that's happening in Yakima, Washington, or wherever fucking Michigan or wherever Detroit.
But
I don't know about
it. Sometimes it's fun to get in there and see the people. That's part of the enjoyment of being a podcaster is you get to meet those people up in Yakima, wherever, small town, Podunk, 15 people and see what kind of wrestling show they're running.
Sheboygan. Yeah.
Sheboygan. Now wait a minute now. That's getting close to home, brother.
I know it is. Yeah. I don't know anything about Sheboygan. I don't know anything about that place.
I got you. I've got a couple of really good promoters that tell me what's going on up there in Wisconsin. Not in Sheboygan area. It's a little further north toward Green Bay, but there's a couple of pretty good shows up there.
There's a lot of stuff going on, man. Even like, I was invited to go to a show down in Georgia on New Year's Eve, and I'm just like, look, my friend, I appreciate the offer, my brother, but I'm going to tell you one thing. Me driving 5.5 hours on New Year's Eve.
No.
Ain't it. Not
without being paid. Not without being paid.
Not only that, it's not all that. It's not all that, actually. It's too short notice for me to capitalize.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I've never been in your shoes to work what you do, so I can sit here and say, yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I have no clue.
So, all right, if you're going to make the trip, you've got to have everything else set up, right?
Right.
So you got to have your travel expenses, your hotels, and all that shit lined up. Now, in my case, there's also going to be, when I go that far, I'm also going merch sale. So I'm going out there for multiple reasons. I don't do one trip just to do one task.
Right.
All the local shows, yeah, I'll go do anything for a local show. I don't care because it's right here. They're in my backyard. I know most of these guys. I'm good. That's fine.
Right.
But when I got to go that far, oh yeah, there's going to be an extra reason for me to be there.
I got you. That makes perfect sense.
I worked 3 states this year. I'm aiming, and it's looking like 5 states next year.
Nice.
And I'll put it to anybody and everybody out there. If I got the offer to ring announce in Maryland in front of my family, hometown crowd, I don't have to do this anymore. Like it doesn't. You can't beat it now. I'm done.
Right.
What else is there beyond that?
Right.
For gotcha. For an almost a mid to late 30s. Half-assed ring announcer, half-assed podcaster, full-time asshole. What else is there? There is what there. It doesn't get any bigger than that to me.
I got you.
Doing it one time in front of my family. After that, if I never do it again, I've already done Hall of Famers and current talent. Who gives? Okay, I've done, and now I've done it in front of my own people. What more is there? There is
Right.
nothing. There is nothing left to chase. There's no contracts left to sign. Is you've hit
Now wait
the.
a minute. Now wait a minute, Sage. You can't tell me that if Mr. Paul were to call you up out of the blue and say, Saint, I want you to come up here to WWE. I want you to call some shows, man. I want to put you under contract, sir. You wouldn't give it a second thought?
Giving it a thought is one thing, but that ever happening is not. That's not the point.
Dude, everybody sitting behind those podiums didn't think they had a chance either. Come on, seriously. Talk to JR. JR, when he talks about him, he never thought he was going to be an announcer for WWF during one of the biggest booms in wrestling.
He was a commentator. I don't. That's the thing. Commentators and ring announcers.
You're not bad. I'm not going to let you sit here and go, I'm not as good as JR.
Oh, no, I'm not a commentator, period. I don't do that very often at all.
But you do it.
I've done it, but I'm not that entertaining as commentary.
I mean, you and I Am Righteous sat next to each other during the show, and I was more interested in what you two had to say than the wrestling event. I mean,
that was funny as shit because it was me and Ivan. I think it's about who you're working with, too. You got to have somebody you can play off of.
Nothing against HVW because it was an excellent show, but listening to both of you was just priceless for me.
Right. But as far as it goes now, I mean, if I got that phone call, yeah, it'd be something I'd have to look at. But reality is, there is nothing more I need. There's nothing else I need to chase.
Right. I got you. I understand.
I pull off one back home, and if I never do it again, I'm not upset. When I did the one for Ricky Morton, I was like, "There's no fucking beating this. There's no way. You can't beat this."
The interview with Ricky Morton?
No, when I introduced him.
Oh, introduced him.
I was his announcer. I was Ricky Morton's ring announcer. Like, how? How do you beat this? You can't beat this.
It's like that with all the superstars, man. I mean, any superstar. I mean, if you're going to be at the show where you're going to be introducing Barbarian and stuff like that. I mean,
I'm not. Oh no, I'm not. I don't. I'm going to be there possibly, but I'm not his announcer. No, I'm not announcing that show.
Oh, I thought you were announcing that show.
That's I think the details on that show are still being worked out. Last I checked. So
maybe I need to call somebody. Make sure you're the announcer.
No, you don't need to call nobody. I just like helping where I can help. If I can do something that's going to make a difference for that show, then great. And I'm like that with every promoter. It's like, if you got something for me and I can help y'all, I am down to ride. Let's go.
I got you. But I got you. Well, I've got some surprises coming up. I'm not going to drop any bombs on your show today, but I might at a later time call you up and say, hey, I got a bomb I'm about to drop. But coming 2023, and it has nothing to do with #truth. This is something outside of #truth, but it's still wrestling related. And no, it's not running a show or anything like that before anybody gets an idea. It has something to do with helping others in wrestling. So
when these guys out there look at this and they go, "Oh man, I could run a wrestling show, get $25,000 to $50,000, and then we'll talk." Have that much disposable income to start, and then
what? The ones that do that, first of all, I'm a couch booker. I'll admit it. I'm a couch booker. I've gone to many shows when I would have put that guy against that guy or that guy against, but I'm not in the locker room. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who didn't show up, who, was just sitting back and ended up getting added to the show. Cause that happens during a lot of shows, indie shows. So you can't, again, and you're right. If you don't have the money, one of the promoters, I'm not going to name his name, but one of the promoters put something that is so true out on Facebook. I jumped up and down when I saw it, literally jumped up and down, and I'm 450 something pounds. He put, if you don't have the money to pay your wrestlers before the doors open, stop running shows.
That was Bob Keller. That was Bob Keller. I know Bob. Bob Keller's good people.
I jumped up and down when I read that.
Dude, Bob Keller's good people, and the people that come out of Bob Keller's training
goes up on me now. There you go.
Oh, my bad.
You're good. You're good.
The people that come out of Bob, dude, John Schuyler, Bob, that's a Keller guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Referee Gail, wrestler Katrina, Cooper Housley. There's been a bunch of cats went through Bob Keller.
Yeah.
Vallo, Django.
But I'm just saying, the truer words, because I know some shows, and not naming names, never will, but they wait to see what comes through the door before they know if they can pay wrestlers, and they're always in trouble because of that.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
They always have, words being said outside in the wrestling community because of that.
All right. When I first made an agreement, and I'm gonna put him on the spot on this one, Thomas Scott. When I first made an agreement with Thomas Scott, it was like 2 months to the show when him and I made an agreement, agreed on a price tag and everything. Within 10 days, I had my phone rang. Hey, brother, what's your PayPal? I don't have PayPal. What's your Venmo? I don't have that shit. What, Cash App? No. Can I pay you on Facebook? For what? We just talked 10 days ago. For what? What are you trying to pay me for? Well, the show in 2 months. He was trying to pay us in advance that far. I'm like, bro, I appreciate it, but no, I will see you at the. I said, I don't want to. I don't ever want to do that. I never want to do that. I want to be paid day of, because that way, if anything happens, I don't feel like a piece of shit.
Right.
That's how I feel.
But it's good to know that there are promoters that are like that, though.
Dude, there's promoters like that. I've showed up to more than one, and they're like, "Oh man, here's your envelope," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, well I'm here. I guess that's fine."
Oh yeah.
I normally don't like being paid for a job until I've done the job. You know what I mean?
I got you.
I'm one of those type of people.
I got you. But to know that there are promoters out there that had the envelope ready when you walk in the door, that's a good feeling too, man. That's a really good feeling.
Almost every company I've worked for has done that. Every company I've worked for has done that. I will say that.
Right. I mean, I've heard so many, and you have too. You've interviewed enough people to hear all the horror stories about showing up and shows not, you're waiting an hour after a show to get paid. They dart out the back door and leave.
The other thing, I am gonna go into one thing. The other thing is, like, I know a lot of people, and so do you. Right. But when I talk to these promoters, privately,
right,
I'll be like, hey, look, all right, so you got me for this. Do you need any of the following items? Do you need a photographer? Or do you need a referee? Do you need workers? Do you need a ring girl? Do you need commentary team? You tell me if you need anything at all, and I will introduce them to you, and you can work out a deal with them. But I've got people that can do anything you want. I just need to know whether or not you want them.
Right.
And if they come to me and they're like, "Hey, I need this, this, and this," I'm like, "Cool. Do you want me to bring them to you, or do you want them to come on their own? Because if I bring them to you, that's fine. I will orchestrate transport and everything for shit. Right. Because I would rather offer something and be able to deliver it by my own hand than I would say, hey, yeah, here's a person, and then they flake out on it. You know what I mean? Because that looks worse.
Right. Exactly. I understand that perfectly.
That's how I like to operate, man. I like to make sure that if I'm man enough to help somebody out and bring them along into the fold, that I also want to guarantee them. And it's hard to put your name on somebody else.
Right.
But the people I operate with, I got no problem. None. I got no problem putting my name beside people saying I support what they do.
Right.
They got you covered.
I mean, there are a lot of really good wrestlers that are like that. I mean, there are that we both know. There are a lot of good wrestlers that will show up, do their job, do what they're supposed to do. Don't hurt the other wrestler. Be there on time whenever the promoter says, "Hey, be here at this time." They're there or earlier. And things like that. It's up to the individual. We've said this many times. It's up to them individuals, man. And you got some that sometimes you just want to smack them upside the head. I'm going to be honest with you.
I mean,
they got the talent, but they just ain't punctual. They
that's like, I've never really had a problem with being somewhere at call time.
Right.
But it's to the point where it's like, hey, look, things might be a little close on this day because of this.
Right.
Or, hey, look, I know I'm normally one of the first guys here, but I'm not going to be this time. I've got this.
Right.
So,
but I mean, that makes you punctual, though. You're still calling up whoever's in charge and saying, hey, there's a lot of people in the wrestling business that wouldn't even do that. Yeah. They would leave the person in charge or the booker sitting there, biting his nails 15 minutes before, doors open. And then here you come prancing in. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you. I'm just in general.
In general, yeah.
Yeah. Here comes the wrestler prancing in 10 minutes before showtime, opening up his case and getting ready. And the guy's like, where you been?
Dude, I've had to do some strange things in order to delay a show. I'll just put it that way. Taking the microphone.
We need to have a show about that.
Here's exactly what I did. I said, just hand me the microphone. I'm going to go test it. Me testing it was walking through the crowd and interacting with the crowd and asking the crowd questions to delay the show.
Okay.
So I'm out there like, hey, who are you here to see? Oh, okay, you're here to see this person. Cool. Oh, you're here to see me? God, you wasted your money. And keep right on walking. It's like, man, I appreciate it, but damn, y'all wasted your money if you came here to see me.
Right. Right. That's fun though. It's fun interacting with the crowd. I do that at HWA all the time. I'm not even part of the show. I just get up and do it.
I did it to delay the show because talent hadn't showed up.
I got you. No, I understand.
So you got to do something to kill some time, man. But it looks like you're getting ready to get busy. I'm getting ready to get busy.
I'm gonna have to get out of here. I've got some family coming over to visit, so I was just cued by the wife to 5 minutes.
Wrap it up. Yeah, wrap it up. All right. Well, hey, man, look, I appreciate you jumping on the show. This one will be downloaded around the world. So, guys, around the world, if you have any interest in what we're doing here in the Carolinas, be sure you check out Scott Larson from #Truth.
Thank you, sir.
Scott, I appreciate you. We'll be watching this week.
All right, I'm out.
All right, later. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. We're going to call it right then and right there. I've got to get out of here because I've got some stuff going on outside. I can hear thumping and running and God knows what going on out here. So I'm going to go find out what's up with these kids. You folks have a great day. Trust me when I tell you it's been real. It's been fun. Hell yeah, it's been real fun. We'll catch you next time. Be sure you catch us Thursday night for the Thursday Night Indie Spotlight. Thus proclaimed.